Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now live with BB3 TV.
Oh, hey, everybody. Thanks for being here, guys. So much. I appreciate it. Hey, it's been a little while since I've gone live. I've had to take a little bit of a break. I've been super crazy busy with work and everything else that's been going on. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Guys, today I'm super excited. You know, Gettysburg, everybody who knows me knows that I love to talk about Gettysburg. So that's what today's going to be about. We're going to talk about all things Gettysburg. I don't care if we talk about paranormal, even though I don't really get into the paranormal. We can talk about it. We're going to talk about the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which is a freaking cool event. You definitely, if you're into the paranormal stuff, you want to check that out. I mean, everybody is going to be there. Ghost hunters and people like that, guys. You put an awesome opportunity. So you want to go check that out. And we're going to talk about my event, the event that my organization, the PCWA, is going to be putting on in Gettysburg for the 168th anniversary of the battle. We're going to talk a little bit about all that. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you can, please hit that share button. Get this thing out there, and it does a huge help. It helps us beat that pesky algorithm. So if you could do that, I sincerely do appreciate it. Also, head over to BB3 TV on Facebook and like and follow us over there. There's so much awesome content over there, guys. Go check it out. All kinds of shows for something to interest everybody, gamers and all kinds of stuff. Go over to check that out. Also follow me on Off the Cuff with Dustin Heisey on my Facebook pages, all that good stuff, and it's all just a click of a button. All right, so guys, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my good buddy Dom from BB3. Hey Dom,
what's happening, everybody? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's good to see you. Good to be back on Off the Cuff on BB3 TV.
Amen, brother. Hey, I'll tell you, I hate when I am not able to get on and do my show. It frustrates me. I know there's people that love to watch the show, and I appreciate them. They message me like, dude, where you been? They're like, why aren't you doing a show? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm busy. I mean, I'm working 2 jobs. I start at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody, it's the same freaking story all the time. Yeah. And I work 2 jobs. So I'm just so crazy busy, and I'm doing this event now. So, you know, I've been working. So guys, I'm going to hit the comments here real quick. Let's say hi to everybody. All right. Quick question. So are shirts true to size and brand? The shirts are, as far as I know, they are true to size. And you want to go to the PCWA store.myshopify.com to check out the stuff for the Gettysburg event over there. Hey, Farmer, it's good to see you. Hi, honey, as always. I believe this is Tom. Hey, what's up, Facebook user? I don't know who you are, so you might want to put your name in there so I know who we're talking to. Oh, oops. Oops, that was me. Tom, click the link. Get your butt in here.
Yeah.
I put that in the chat. So will the reenactors be able to have GoPros and cameras during the battle? Did they have those in 1863? Probably going to say they didn't. However, if you can hide them, I don't care. I don't care what you do as long as nobody sees it. So I would love to see some GoPro footage of that. Just keep it hidden the best that you can. And no one's going to say anything about that. I don't care. There's Gretchen as always. She is my biggest supporter besides my wife and other folks. And appreciate you being here as always. I am so excited for you to share this. Yes, I'm super excited too. And there's Mama Two Books.
What's up?
How you doing, Mama? Hey, Carmen, it's good to see you. What's up? All right, it's Adam. It's good to see you. Rick, thanks for jumping in, man. It's good to see you. I hope to see you at my Gettysburg event, my friend. They could post that to you and use the footage. Yeah, absolutely. Roger that. Question answered. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay.
Don't let me forget to talk to you later about an idea I have, too, about a cinema.
A cinema? You want to make a movie?
I'd like to make a small Gettysburg movie.
Ooh, now we're talking. We can do that. But, you know, here's the sad part, dude. Right now in Gettysburg, if you go to Gettysburg right now, dude, Little Round Top's closed. It's closed for 1.5 years, man. Like, that's like the biggest draw to Gettysburg is like the Little Round Top and Devil's Den, and they are both closed for like a year and a half.
We can find a place that may look though.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
We'll talk later. We'll talk later about
that. Yeah, we'll hit that up. But yeah, so talking about Gettysburg, this is like my favorite subject, man. This is my happy place. Everybody knows that. Speaking of cinema, dude, I have all that footage that I did from Harper's Ferry. I did a whole John Brown series, and I still have not got that footage edited. I need to edit that, and I'm going to post that up to BB3 because that is going to be an awesome little thing. It's my first attempt at shooting, and I talked. All of it was off the cuff, and it really came out super awesome. Now, my wife actually did a quick little edit on her phone, and it turned out pretty good. But I was trying to do something like I've got like Illustrator and do all kinds of things like that. I want music. We even have a long segment with the park guide. I mean, it was just really cool. So anyway, all right. So yeah, I've been to Gettysburg twice. That's it. Man, I've been there twice this week. Yeah, it does need music. And Monica was the cinematographer for that. So she did a really good job. She did a really great job. So guys, stay tuned for that. There's a really cool John Brown footage coming. I followed John Brown from his raid headquarters all the way into Harper's Ferry to his raid, all the way to when he was tried in Charlestown, and all the way over to where he was hung. And I couldn't follow up to his grave is somewhere up in upstate New York or something to that effect, and I haven't been able to get there. So that's in the future. All right, man, let's talk a little bit about the Battlefield Bash, man. What is going on with the Battlefield Bash and BB3 TV? So let's tell folks about what's going on. Tell them, where is it? Where is the Bash? Let's put some of that stuff out.
Well, the Bash, I mean, it's going to be at the Wyndham. I believe they set this like a year in the making. It's every year. It's absolutely fantastic. This is an event that I think is actually one of the best put on. Steve and Pam Barry, I believe, put it on. Actually, I know they put it on.
Awesome people.
They just put a lot of work into it. And you go to exhibits, different exhibits where, other paranormal investigators get together. And it more seems like a flea market than anything. Now, however, though, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is completely different. The atmosphere is very comfortable, very laid back. Everyone's there to chill, talk about their stories, also sell merchandise as well. But the meet and greet and the environment all alone together it's just a complete different feel to everything. Not only is it a party, but it's an absolute pure communication to just meet new people and see what everyone does.
Mm-hmm. And listen, the Bash is so cool. Like, who doesn't like? I mean, I'm a skeptical person when it comes to the paranormal, and I've had experiences like things that I couldn't explain. I've had those experiences, but you know what, dude? I'm a hard fact kind of guy. Like, I need to know, it's just got to be legit. I will question everything that I see I could debunk just about anything. And I don't try to be a hard ass. I mean, I don't try to take that approach, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's got to be really compelling. But what's really cool is we all sit at home and we watch these ghost hunting shows, right? We watch Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and things like that. And there's a multitude of other ones that are out there. And there's all kinds of famous people, and they're all going to be at the Bash. Like, there's a ton of them that are going to be at the Bash. So
yeah, I don't know who all as far as like Ghost Hunters and stuff going to be there, but I know our friends like Kenny's going to be there. Brooke's going to be there. I think a couple of famous Ghost Hunters are going to be there. I don't know. They're there. I don't really know. Oh, DeCesare. Most of our team. See, here's the thing. DeCesare is famous. April's famous. But we talk to them all the time. So it's kind of like one of these things where it's like you don't really know who's going to be there. I see them more as family than anything now. You know what I mean? So it's like I forget who's really going to be there. It's just going to be a good time.
Yeah, and April's been featured on the Travel Channel. DeCesare is
Sci-Fi Channel. The Ghost Boy of Geneseo. I mean, he's got the book. He's got movies made by him. So he's absolutely fantastic to talk to too. If you meet him in person, like just a nice guy, dude. I don't know how anyone can be that nice.
I've had him on my show, and it was an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. And I'm going to have him on again sometime, and I'd love to. Chris is a great guy. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him, and he's just so down to earth.
Carmen says Ernie Atwell and David Solar are going to be there. I think I said the name. They're part of another network too. So I met them. They're nice guys.
Absolutely. So it's just going to be a cool event, guys. So check it out, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Now, when What are the dates for that? Do you know the dates? Because I don't know them off the top of my head.
I think 19, 20, and 21. I'm flying in on the
August.
18th. Yeah, August.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Okay.
It's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right here at the
Yeah.
end of the month. I'm excited, guy. I mean, I'm super excited to be there.
I'm
I can't
flying
wait.
in on the 18th, and I'm flying out on the 21st. Tom Nally's coming in the 19th, and he's leaving the 20th.
Mhm.
We have the T-shirts. It's going to be a meet and greet. We will be doing lives. I want to get with you about doing a tour of the battlefield itself. You and I doing a tour together.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, anybody that wants to come along, I know a thing or two about the battlefield.
Yeah,
It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I mean, it is kind of my home away from home. You know? And I've spent so much time on the battlefield just observing it. And there's a book that I have. It's like a binder. It was written by Phil Lano. What a superb author. I mean, just his attention to detail. I mean, outstanding, superb book. But I take Phil Lano's book out to the battlefield. I'll pick a spot, call the railroad cut or something like that. I'll go to the railroad cut and I'll sit there and I'll read about the railroad cut sitting at the railroad cut. So I get this visual so I can kind of see like what happened in detail and I can visualize that. And what a cool way to experience the battlefield. So I urge you guys, if you've ever done that, never done that, and you really do have an interest in the battlefield and the battle, what took place at Gettysburg, go out there, take a book, or JD Petruzzi has an excellent battlefield guide. He's got excellent maps by Steve Stanley in there. You know, go out there to the battlefield and stand there and actually experience that battlefield that way. There's no better way to do it. Yes, this guy Neil Haight is a genius. I don't know shit when it comes to the battle when it compares to him. This guy is a freaking battlefield superstar when it comes to what he knows. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know. He's a genius. Well, thank you, Gretchen, for that. I
got a question for you, Dustin.
I tried to make it an experience. So.
I got a question for you, like real quick, because Craig's in here right now. Craig Knapp, the grave guys. Is there any way you and I could go clean a couple graves that day, or is it just off limits?
There's no need to clean them because they are clean.
I'm saying it's like anything like the area that we can do something, because I know we want to stuff so much shit into so little time. Like, is there a way you and I could go maybe participate in something like that somehow?
Maybe. I mean, I'm up for anything, bro. We could figure something out. I'm sure. Yeah. You know, I'm pretty much going to be spending like all my time with you while I'm up there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've been crashing in the room, right?
I think so. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah,
for sure. And I'm getting there on the 18th. So if you're there, you know, get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now, unfortunately, I can give a very good battlefield tour. A very good tour. Is it tour guide status? Probably not. I mean, you know, but for most people, they're not going to remember those really tiny little minuscule details anyway. I can give you a pretty good warm and fuzzy, like on the first day's field. There's Heath's division came down that road. This is the Chambersburg Pike. Beaufort was back there. This is the cannon that fired the first shot, according to the placard that's on it, and the number of the piece of artillery. And we could talk about stuff like that. Kind of keep it basic. Iron Brigade was right here. 24th Michigan, which, by the way, I really want to do the 24th Michigan at my event. Those guys were in the thick of it on the first day. Got their, I mean, just huge casualties and like 10, you know, I could be wrong about the number of flag bearers that were shot down in one spot. I mean, every time somebody touched the flag in the 24th Michigan, they went down. And same with North Carolina, who they were fighting against, muzzle to muzzle. I mean, what a crazy event that took place out there.
Wow.
Sachs Bridge and Eisenhower Bridge are amazing. Yes, they are. They're awesome places. Now, again, if you want some paranormal, and I think what she's talking about is paranormal, because I mean, they did some devil worshiping out there at Sachs Bridge, man. They used to Zach, I think you're right. It's probably 7 or 8 color bears. They used to put like pentagrams and shit out there on Sachs Bridge, and they were worshiping Satan and all kinds of stuff. Now, look, I want to dispel something here really fast. Disclaimer. I do believe that stuff can happen anywhere. People died all over Gettysburg. What people don't understand is there is a Civil War field hospital 50 yards away from the end of the bridge, 50, 60 yards away from the end of the bridge. That could also be why there's a lot of paranormal activity, because a lot of people died on that property right up to Sachs Bridge. For all I know, Sachs Bridge could have been used as sanctuary, and it most likely was, but keeping in mind it was an active roadway at the time. However, There is a story going around that on Sachs Bridge, 3 members of Longstreet's Corps were caught, they deserted and were captured, and then summarily hung on the 3rd rafter in from the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
That is not documented. There is no proof. There is no written evidence of that ever actually having occurred. So I do believe that I think most scholars, most historians of the battle don't believe that happened. But that being said, and being the objective person that I am, could it possibly have happened? Sure. But it's really, 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 really likely that would have been in Longstreet's memoirs or his AAR, his after action, reports, and just things like that. Something would have shown up somewhere about deserters being hung. So it's just not likely a true story.
And who's in the black cemetery?
A lot of black people.
Wow, Monica asked me to ask you.
Oh, I didn't see that. Hold on. Dustin does better than a tour guide. I don't know about that. It's personal, not history teacher reciting. I do recite stuff. I do recite facts, but yeah, I do try to keep it. So I try to make it more of a visceral experience. You know what I mean? So I try to put people on the battlefield and put them in the shoes of the guys. So I'm like, let's just use the railroad cut. Imagine, you got Davis's brigade coming over. You've got they're getting into. I'm sorry, is this too much detail for you?
No,
David.
No, I'm laughing about Monica and then your answer. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, just give me a minute, Monica. Come on, really? So you got all these people, and I tell you, imagine being in that railroad cut. This is a deep railroad cut, and hundreds of Confederate soldiers got trapped down in this railroad cut. You've got the 6th Wisconsin, okay, and they're coming across the field. I think was the 95th New York was beside them, 14th Brooklyn, something like that. The 84th New York, a couple of them. I can't remember exactly, but they were charging across that field, and I'm like, imagine that. You're coming in this very short span of ground. There was a charge, and guys were murdered, dropping like flies in this little field. And I try to give you a visual of that experience as opposed to being like, yep, Rufus Dawes was right there, and they came over that way, and they shot some guys down there, and they took some prisoners. Moving on. No, I mean, I try to make it more of a visceral experience. It's the better way to experience Gettysburg. All right, so I'd like to revisit Gettysburg and do some EVPs there. You'll probably get something. My suggestion is go out to the rose pasture, the huge concentration, or the wheat field.
I want to actually piggyback on that real quick. Is there a way? So we could paranormal investigate there, but I read that we can't be there at night. However, though, I don't believe in paranormal investigating at just at night. It's during the day too. So can I bring like a spirit box with me, like on the field?
Sure. Yeah, do it. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Come on. Do anything that you want to do. Cool. I look, it's a national park. Respect what happened there. Always respect what happened. It is hallowed ground. So when you go out there, respect the fact that multitudes of thousands, there's 53 thousand casualties at Gettysburg. The wheat field alone, that small area, 6,000 casualties in that small area. So when you walk across that battlefield, you have to understand when guys remember that experience, you could not put your foot down without stepping on a dead or wounded person.
Yeah. The
entire way across that field. Think about that. Yeah. Like I mentioned in my last live, I just did here for the PCWA. The 17th US got into the woods there, and James, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they ran into Georgians. I can't remember the number. I think it was Georgians that they ran into and suffered 47% casualties in one spot, in one little spot. Dude, it's mind-blowing. So when people go out there, you have to understand that ground was saturated with blood. Respect that when you go out there. That's my biggest thing.
Rick, I could kind of see that. I've never been on tour. I'm kind of picturing it. I kind of do believe in it.
And I appreciate the sentiment, Rick. Thank you. Again, I don't ever want to become official. I would never become an official battlefield tour guide. I have nothing but respect for those guys. The test that they have to take for that is rigorous, to say the least. It's just like several sections. It's a verbal, it's a written, and it's not just Gettysburg that you have to know. You've got to know the war. I mean, inside and out, start to finish, front to back, officers, units, ranks. Oh my God, it's too overwhelming. I don't know what the hell I did this morning.
Monica's
let
question's
alone
killing me. I gotta know what was it?
Oh, okay, well, I just read it. So Monica's initial question is she's talking about the Columbia Cemetery. That cemetery could use some help, and maybe you come over to my neck of the woods. It's only 50 minutes away from Gettysburg. Maybe we could do that. But
and who's in it?
Okay, so anybody who knows the Civil War knows about the 54th Massachusetts. The 54th Massachusetts was the first all-black regiment formed during the war. Okay, the 54th Massachusetts was depicted in the movie Glory. If anybody's ever seen that, if you haven't, go watch it. It's an excellent Civil War movie. But it talks about the 54th Massachusetts and their experience leading up to and including the battle at Fort Wagner, where they suffered massive casualties. It's an excellent story. But so about 7 members of the 54th Massachusetts are buried here in Columbia, Pennsylvania. So really neat, really cool thing to go see if you're in Columbia. It's the Mount Zion Cemetery. It's a very small cemetery. It's a black cemetery. And it's tucked away underneath a bridge. I mean, and it's just so neglected. It's so neglected. So they could use some help.
We should go hit that. But I got another idea. We got to talk. I just got a really great idea.
Okay, write it down so you don't forget.
I just took a picture of the screen, so I remember.
There's also a member of the militia who was there when John B. Gordon was in Wrightsville, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about that. And if that's true, dude, figure out who it is, because I want to go check it out, like tomorrow. I live 10 minutes away. Columbia Cemetery, because that would be like Haldeman graves and possibly Samuel Miller Mansion family. I just saw a thing about the Samuel Miller Mansion on Facebook, came through there again. That was a really cool experience with you, Carmen, with the exception of whatever that dude's name was. That was awful, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever go on a ghost hunt with that dude ever again. That being said, I got the National Parks Trivial Pursuit from Amazon the other day. 600 questions. There are tons of historic and Civil War. Also, I love Glory and own it on DVD. Outstanding. No, it's oh yeah.
Oh Lord,
Oh my Lord, Lord.
Do it again, Dustin. Encore.
No.
My ass.
That was awful. We do that shit, so we get boots on the ground. So me and my buddy Lee, and usually Gretchen has come on battlefield tours. We went to Petersburg in Virginia, and we toured the Battle of the Crater, which is an incredible freaking story, an incredible battlefield, and we call it boots on the ground. So and when we're boots on the ground, we're walking through the battlefield just singing that song from Glory. It's fun. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's fun. We just do it. I don't know why, but yeah,
it's fun. It's cool. That's why you do it.
It is exactly my point.
It's fun.
It was a good time. It's a good experience, but man, I didn't leave you out, Monica. What are you talking about?
The hell's your problem, Dustin?
I think it kind of goes to say I don't really travel much without you, right? Man, always got to include the wife. Look what happens, guys. Don't get married. I'm just kidding. I love you, honey. I love you. But
2 weeks
Gettysburg,
away, brother.
Dude, I'm super excited. Dude, I haven't seen you since you were up here the last time, man.
I know. I'm gonna stay the whole trip this time.
Stay the whole trip and try to keep the.
Yeah, we got you.
Try to keep the.
Yeah,
you know.
we got
I
you.
want.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
we understand each other.
Indeed, that was.
I got to get your butt up here for my Gettysburg event, dude. I need help. I'm gonna need volunteers, dude.
Yeah,
you got to come up and help.
When is this?
This is June 21st through the 25th. It's
of next year.
It's just 2023.
I could absolutely do that.
I need you. I could
absolutely do that.
I'm trying to get my friend Lisa to come over from Oregon. She was supposed to come the other year. She was going to. I don't know what happened. Something always happens with Lisa. I love you, honey. All right, the unknown black soldier.
Be?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I'm just wondering how many days it's going to be in June. Like how, like was it a week?
Well, it's from the 21st. It's Wednesday the 21st through Sunday the 25th. And I just announced tonight the actual location. So we are actually in partnership with the American World War II Experience. It's a new museum in Gettysburg. They have incredible World War II vehicles out there. Anybody who loves military history, you've got to go and check out that freaking museum. Okay, 845 Crooked Creek Road, Gettysburg, PA. Go check out the freaking museum. It is awesome. And they let you get in. They will let you get into the vehicles if you ask them. They are the most cool people. The Bucks are amazing people. They're so cool, just relaxed, and they have such a respect and an appreciation for history, and they let you touch their stuff. That's the cool thing. It's a museum, but you can go touch their stuff. It's really neat. Yeah. All right, so I want to read this. So Zach says, the unknown black soldier was decapitated by artillery fire on June 28th, and he was the only casualty during the Battle of Wrightsville, which culminated with Colonel Jacob Frick. And that was like the 26th. Was it the 26th PA emergency militia or the 28th? Something like that. But yes, so John Gordon of the Confederacy raided Wrightsville. He was on his way over here. We had iron smelting foundries on the Lancaster County side of the river, which is they were smelting iron for artillery. If I'm not mistaken, they were smelting iron. Yeah, I was right. The 26th. They're smelting iron, and you know. So again, if Gordon would have gotten across the river and captured those things, it would have been detrimental for the Union Army.
I love history like this, and we live in the South, so when Craig and I we do the grave guys, we go to the Confederate cemeteries. Mm-hmm. Just for the history and the lessons, and when you look up the graves, you could pull up who they were, what battle they were in, all that. I don't understand why people don't. I mean, I get it, and I don't understand why people don't appreciate history. We catch so much heat from being in the Confederate graveyard, and I mean, yeah, the Confederate flag's up and stuff like that, but I mean, these were all soldiers, at the time, and I'm sure they didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Like they were put in a situation. They
did want to fight. Huh? They did want to. They absolutely wanted to fight. They were see. A lot of people get confused about the whole cause, the cause of the Civil War. You ask a Southerner what the cause of the war was, it had nothing. It had very little to do with slavery. Well, however, okay, the North was fighting to abolish, to end slavery. Okay, and Lincoln started that with the Emancipation Proclamation, which he didn't really even want to put that out until we had like a significant victory, and then he put out the Emancipation Proclamation. But then he went on to pressing after the war, pressing for the 13th Amendment, which completely eliminated slavery in the United States completely. But the South, if you were to ask them, even today, and it gets kind of heated when you talk to some of these guys.
Oh, it completely gets heated here.
Well, they were fighting for their rights. They were fighting for their rights. Now, also, you have to keep in mind that only 1% of the people who fought for the Confederacy, 1% were actually slave owners. 1%. People don't realize that fact. And another fact that people don't realize, like one of the first slave owners in the United States of America was a black man.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was ruthless. He treated his slaves horribly.
I remember.
So I can't help but ask, why are you fighting this war? We're fighting for our rights.
I remember an argument between one of my good friends and some random Southerner here. And I remember the argument getting pretty heated about the Confederate flag and what it is. And I remember the Southerner didn't know much about the Confederate flag, and he was kind of getting schooled. Now I got to ask you, did Robert E. Lee, my computer is preparing a setup. Hold on one second. We got to stop that, whatever that was setting up. Did Robert E. Lee say, once this war was over, do not fly the Confederate flag anymore because we lost?
Something to that effect. He felt that, and he was correct, mind you. He felt that the flag would become. He felt the flag would become a symbol of hate, and he was absolutely right, and it did. So he didn't even want the Confederate flags flying at his grave. Like you have to understand, he was in the United States Army, and he was proud to serve in the Army. But he said, look, my home is Virginia. I cannot raise my hand in anger towards my home. So he had an obligation to defend his home. But then why did you raid Pennsylvania? Well, to end the war and to get what you want, you had to take Washington. That's the ultimate goal. If they would have won at Gettysburg, see, Gettysburg was the major, like, a turning point in the war. See, up to 1863, there had been some major losses suffered by the Union Army. We're talking major losses. The Battle of Antietam was considered like a stalemate. There was like 23,000 casualties in that, in one day of fighting. In one day of fighting in the Battle of Antietam, there were 23,000 American lives lost.
Right.
It's hard to really wrap your head around that until you go to an illumination. And bro, listen to me. If you ever get the opportunity to go to an illumination at one of these battlefields, dude, go experience that. Because what they do is they set up a candle in these little white bags all over the battlefield. One represents a casualty.
No
And
kidding.
when you see what 23,000 looks like, you just, it blows your mind, bro. Like, it hits you in the feels. I mean, it really
When
truly
did they do
hits you in the
that?
feels. You have to just Google it. I'm not sure. Zach, if you get a chance, man, Google the illumination for me and post it down in the comment section. I'm not sure when the
That'd be
illumination
great
is.
to see,
Probably over the anniversary. It's probably in September. So I'm sure they do it over the anniversary. But in Gettysburg, I think now Gettysburg does or used to do an illumination. I'm not sure if they still do, but now you're talking about 53,000 candles. Holy shit. Wrap your head around that. Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, 6,000 in just a small area. I mean, that's the thing about Gettysburg that really gets me. Gettysburg is a beautiful place. I mean, if you go to Gettysburg and you're on that battlefield, just the views itself, they're incredibly beautiful. Just rolling hills and beautiful mountain terrain. Well, hilly mountains. You want mountains, you got to go out west. But anyway, I digress.
I get what you mean. I seen it.
It's beautiful.
Goddamn gorgeous.
And you just think it's like, the area, one of the deadliest areas was called the slaughter pen. So you got the slaughter pen, which Bloody Run runs through the slaughter pen. It's called the Valley of Death. I mean, all these catchy names.
Yeah.
But you think about the amount of death that would require, the amount of bloodletting required to turn a creek red with blood. That happened at Gettysburg. That Plum Run Creek ran red with blood from the amount of people who died and bled into that creek. Just unfreaking believable. And look, one of the things that you guys can do is go look at some of the photographs. Google Confederate dead at Gettysburg images and select that, and look at some how horribly mangled some of these bodies were. Just awful carnage that took place. And there was also photography at Antietam. And, one of the photographers is Alexander Gardner. Alexander Gardner really did bring home the visage of war and, kind of brought home the reality of what war really freaking looked like. And people thought that this was going to be a spectacle. So, during, I think, the first Battle of Manassas, I think it was, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, first Battle of Manassas, I think that was the first major battle that took place during the war. And they had picnickers. There's people literally sitting on top of a hill spectating because they thought this was going to be a cool thing to watch. The Union Army got routed right through them. I mean, routed off the field. And they and that changed people's minds very quickly. And they realized that this was not going to be a quick war. And it didn't. It drug on for 1861 to 1865, just long years. Yes, it is absolutely. I mean, I feel a very deep connection to the battlefield when I go out there. It's not it's a palpable experience because knowing what happened and knowing the amount of people who died and the pain and suffering that they went through, the energy in that place is palpable. So it really is.
I got to ask you something too. Let's go into this. A friend of mine, her family farm and cemetery. Okay, you don't want to see that?
Wait, say what again?
No, I was just reading that comment. A friend of mine, her family and cemeteries in my place. Okay. All right, so I got to ask you this. I didn't get to see the battlefield itself last year. I will see it this year. Is there a heaviness on the field? Like, can you feel like the only thing I could actually put to it is the heaviest presence I've ever felt in my life, and it was gorgeous, was the Alamo. When I visited the Alamo itself, the place is the size of a Dollar General. I mean, it's so small, but the absolute presence of that place, like, you know what happened there, and you're
Yeah.
walking these halls, and you almost feel like I'm not saying this in a paranormal way. Ghosts of the past are you're standing on top of ghosts of the past, of knowing, the land before was filled of Santa Anna's men, and then them holding that fort down. There is a presence there of just I can't. What is it? Pain and like it's not pain. It's like it's
It's just an energy. It's an energy, dude.
It's a peaceful aggression. It's weird. I can't explain it.
That's a different analogy.
Have that?
It absolutely does. And for some, it's more than others. I mean, if you're sensitive to those types of things, you can definitely go out there and have a really powerful experience. My experience is a little bit different. Okay. I don't really see myself as being one of those that's I don't want to say spiritual. I mean, I'm spiritual in terms of
Carmen, I go with you too. No,
I don't know how to explain it. Some people are sensitive and they go out there and have profound experiences. My experience is different. I know what happened out there because I study it. I study it down to, Sem's brigade, Kershaw's brigade, Anderson's division, and I look at it from a very military tactical, standpoint, and I follow those battles, and I spend so much time on the Rose pasture because I've got 4 photograph discoveries in Gettysburg that I can claim, that I worked very hard to find, and some people don't want to give me credit for my finds.
I got a proposition for you. I'm going to be at the Gettysburg Bash with you this year, and we're going to explore the battlefield itself, right? See how we both feel about it, and energies and how we both feel. How about the next one, you and I, within the year after the bash, say 6 months, 8 months later, you and I travel out to the Alamo for a weekend and see if we have the same.
Dude, let's go.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious, though.
Do I look like I'm not serious?
Yeah, like we'll both fly out like on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. It's a day trip to friggin' San Antonio.
Dude, I'm down.
All right.
I'm not gonna want to. I want to stay longer. I'll plan a week. If you want to fly back, you can fly back.
I'll have to plan work because I'm gonna have my birthday weekend. I want to go to Lake the Havasu Falls is what I want to do for my birthday this year.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to see it. You and Monica are welcome to go. But I feel like you and I, if we're going to experience a battlefield, we should also experience like one that I know. You know this one. I know the Alamo. We should experience it together and do a video about it.
Gretchen's inviting herself to that. That would be great. I've never been to the Alamo either, Carmen. Dude, I would love that. I would love that.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read something. I just got a message here from a guy named Don Dolbin. Okay. Guys, this is why I'm doing what I do right here. This is why reenacting is important to me. Mm-hmm. It is shaped a portion of my life. Some of the best memories I've had are the times that I've been out in the field with my brothers, and we're out there. Yeah, we're reenacting. We're shooting blank rounds, and but there's something to be said when you see 15,000 Confederates coming at you. That was a full scale. I think it was like the 135th. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was like the 135th. We had 15,000 Confederates coming towards us. If you don't see the elephant in a situation like that, dude, I can't explain it to you. My heart was pounding in my chest when I saw rows and rows and rows of Confederates, their bayonets glistening. Yes, back then we were allowed to fix bayonets, and we're going to fix bayonets at my event. I don't give a shit what anybody says. We're just going to be careful. It's private property, but we're going to be very careful. But we're fixing bayonets. And they were just moving across that field and to see the bayonets glistening in the sun. Oh my God. Look at it. Goosebumps, man. I'm going to read this. This is why I do what I do. Okay. Hi, Dustin. I watched your podcast tonight and believe you are on the right track. You are giving all of us an opportunity to reset our community and hopefully bring the mainstream and campaign elements together. That is my ultimate goal my ultimate dream to be able to do that, because there's a huge gap between the two. Standards are important, and I believe this will give everyone an opportunity to improve our kits. Thank you for everything that you do. Don, I thank you for saying that, honestly, because that is truly why I do this, because I believe in this. I so believe in this. And I believe that we can give other people an opportunity to get out there and have these experiences, because, I mean, to get out there and you're carrying a musket, you get the gear clanking, and guys start singing the battle cry of freedom. I mean, on the Union side, you're in the South, you're singing Dixie. But to hear that, to hear the drums beating, they beat in your chest, man. I mean, it's just the most incredible experience. And I was a kid, I was hooked for life. And those moments, and I've created some of the best friendships, and I've lost people that I love dearly, and they were my mentor. And Civil War reenacting is more than just slapping on a uniform and going out to the field. It is camaraderie. It is a brotherhood. It's an opportunity for families to put their freaking cell phones down and be a family and do something that's really cool, and teach other people, show them that this is what the 1860s was like. And it's just a cool experience.
I want to piggyback this real quick. I've been to one reenactment. It was here in Florida. Sucked. Absolutely sucked. Up there, what is the age range that comes? Are you finding the older generation that still comes? The newer generation probably could care less, right?
It's a sad reality, bro, but that's the truth. I mean, a lot of guys are aging out of the hobby, and they don't even want to quit. You get some of these guys that are just like really old. I mean, but they love it. They love it that much. They just don't want to give it up. But the reality of it is, people are so, people get so much exposure to like Call of Duty, and they get that visceral experience of when they're shooting somebody, and they get that explosions, and they get the, especially if you're in VR or you're big screen, or you're surrounded wraparound screens, and people take this stuff very seriously. That exposure to that much stimulation, they lose interest. They don't have interest in something like Civil War reenacting. That's just a bunch of kids, grown men playing guns.
I'm not going to ask you. I actually want to debate this with you real quick.
Debate?
Maybe if it comes to that, I want to get everyone's opinion on this too. Maybe it happens. Maybe I just don't know because I don't live up north. Okay. Why are there not class trips to reenactment like this, so the kids can experience it in full nature, rather than being bored by some teacher talking out of, I want to say textbook, because that's what I had in school. I don't even know if they have books in school anymore. Why don't they see it for themselves and be able to interact and be able to learn?
They do.
Okay, so they do. So that's why you already answered my question.
Yeah, we do. We've gotten busloads of school children at events in the past. Spectators, yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually going to work hand in hand with some of the local districts up here, because I want to do just that. I can't disagree with Malcolm. Yeah. Malcolm's. It's because schools are stupid nowadays. That's there it is, the truth. God, people, careful, Malcolm. People can't handle that kind of truth, but it's the truth. You know what, dude? This woke culture that we're living in.
These are going to be teachers one day. These kids that are fucking woke, they're going to be teachers and politicians. Not to get into that, but it's going to be.
I know.
What are these kids going to, like, if they don't know anything about this Civil War and shit? I think the last tragedy most of these fucking people know is 9/11. That's
keep in mind, some of these kids weren't even born for 9/11, bro. Think about that. Some of these kids weren't even alive. That's how long ago 9/11 was. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. 22 years or 21 years ago. God.
I mean, what is their history? I would love to see a 2022 history book. What the fuck is a history there?
Yes.
I was born
Zach, I've been saying that shit for years, man. I wish that, to be honest with you, I wish I was born like I was at the age to fight in World War II, or just be around in that era.
See, that's really the right idea. That's what we need for teachers to step up with shit like what he just said.
Who, Malcolm? Yeah. I want to become a history teacher and teach the real truth, and actually take them to reenactments and show them how it's like. That's a good idea, and that's what people do. Field trips are a thing of the past. Think about it, like field trip. I went to Washington D.C. I wouldn't want to go there now. I don't want to.
I think with what something like Malcolm and things like we have, I think more hands-on experience, like you're watching the shit. I think people learn more with hands-on rather. Like I get there's the readers who learn, but then they suck at everything else. They're shit at like actual physical work and shit like that. Malcolm, I think that's 100%. Seeing it in person, being able to feel it, like hands-on
Yeah.
teaching, that's the only way to really learn.
And look, that's why, for the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, which is just less than a year away, that's why I want to focus so much on it. I look at this in blocks. All right. Block 1, getting the reenactor taken care of in a way the reenactor hasn't been taken care of before. Stupid little details like making sure the porta potties are clean more than once. You know what I mean? Like, come on. There's GAC events in the past where porta potties were so full of crap it was literally coming out of the top. That is not acceptable. But block 1, taking care of the reenactor. Block 2, giving the reenactor an opportunity to have a good time, okay, but still educate. I want interaction. So when guys are campaigning, because okay, again, I'm going to touch on this a little bit, so give me a minute. There is 2 factions in Civil War reenacting. Faction 1, the mainstream reenactor. Faction 2, the authentic campaigner. What's the difference? Okay, saying the authentic campaigner makes you think, well, that takes away. Does that mean mainstream reenactors are not authentic? Not at all. That does not mean that mainstream reenactors, and the mainstream reenactors are the ones that do the mega events like my event. They do the big, like all kinds of people just thrown in and haphazardly just meshed together and nobody's doing any movements right. Everyone's just doing whatever the hell they want to do and going out and just doing cowboy and Indians and blue. It's ridiculous. Okay. That's what people see mainstream as. People see mainstreamers as, well, they come out with their igloo coolers and they come out with their entire house full of stuff and their tents are packed full of all this, that, and the third. I mean, if you were on garrison, you had a lot of supplies. If you were on garrison, you had a lot of supplies. Gettysburg was not a garrison. It was a campaign. Now, authentic campaigners, these guys really pay attention to detail. They count their stitches. I mean, they literally make sure they got the right thread count for their uniform. They make sure that their color's right, the uniform is worn properly. And these guys researched, and that's not saying that mainstream guys don't do that, because they do. Some mainstream guys do. But where the disconnect has come is a lot of the authentic guys all of a sudden get it in their heads that they're so much better than everybody else, where, yes, their impressions are outstanding. The Liberty Rifles, those guys have nailed that shit. I mean, they have nailed that shit. I just hate how some of those people treat mainstream guys. You've got to start somewhere. They need to cut the shit, okay? Because we have an opportunity now. You want to change the hobby, being an authentic campaigner? Oh, the hobby's changing. It's going more towards authentic. That's great. But these people still need to start somewhere. Don't trash them. Yeah. They're great people. They want to have a good time. Give them the opportunity to freaking do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the standard mainstream event. We're going to set standards and God damn it, we're going to enforce them.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't come out there with a shit uniform looking like a clown. Louisiana Tigers did not show up with those striped pantaloons. The Louisiana Tigers had striped pantaloons, but there was a handful of striped pantaloons in Gettysburg. They were still the Tigers, but their uniforms didn't look like that. Research and find out.
I have an idea, which I'll share online or on this live right now. I'll literally share it. So, excuse me. I'm just getting over COVID again. Sorry, guys. It still hits a little bit. Malcolm and you, and what I said, and Carmen as well with Gretchen, there's an idea that we could do to actually be the teachers here. You could be the tour guide. As you said, you'd be one of the best tour guides going. Why don't you and I sit down and talk about building a documentary about all of this about to happen on the battlefield, about the reenactment you're about to do? Get the actors in an intimate conversation about why they still do this. Get more people involved on what to do. Explain what they do to get to this. You talked about the thread count. Let's break this down in a documentary and let people to see. You don't have to be a tour guide every day. You could be a tour guide once in this documentary and explain the battlefield. You could do the entire walkthrough. Take these actors, see what's put into this shit. And literally, at the end, it was brought up earlier about the friggin' GoPros on them, right? Put GoPros, show the interaction with, the cannons and shit going off with them. There is so much we could do with this documentary, and you could call it the tour guide itself.
That's pretty cool. I like that
say
idea. Dude, I'm down. Again, we need equipment. We need
Jonas gave me
cameras.
the finger right now. That's the approval for a show.
Yeah, all right, well, there you go.
Now, I feel that we should do this, and I feel like this would be absolutely something that's just not for popularity. I feel like this would be a learning experience for people who would want to watch, such as the youth, to want to get involved and seeing this older generation of all the work they put into it, such as actors who want to be, made some more. I feel like this would actually
just reminded me of something.
What's this?
Speaking of actors,
yes,
I didn't even announce this on my Patriots of the Civil War page when I did it tonight. So my off the cuff crew and all the lucky folks who are here watching, who are taking part in that, I have gotten confirmation from Brian Mallon, who played General Hancock in the movie Gettysburg. He is going to be he's going to be attending the 160th event. I spoke to Patrick Gorman, who played General Hood.
Nice.
We should have gone around to the right. General Hood is interested. All right. He wants me to get him some details, but he's interested. And as long as we meet his honorarium and things like that, we're going to have Patrick Gorman. We are going to have, guys, you're going to love this. C. Thomas Howell. I spoke to C. Thomas Howell. I spoke to C. Thomas Howell, and he is interested in coming as well. Now, that's going to depend on his touring schedule. Anybody that follows C. Thomas Howell. Anyway, if anybody doesn't know who C. Thomas Howell is, in the movie Gettysburg, he played Thomas Chamberlain, Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain's younger brother. But he was also Pony Boy in The Outsiders. So Tommy is a superb actor. He's still making films. He's still out there doing it. And he's a singer, and he plays, and he's just an all around great guy, good fun. And he's going to try to be at the event. I'm hoping he can make it. I'm putting feelers out for Samuel Elliott. Jeff Daniels is a hard no. I spoke to Donald Logue, who played who did he play? He was the 20th Maine.
Monica, tell him.
Tell me what.
Who he was? Who did he play? She'll tell you. She'll put
Monica. Don't call me Lawrence. I can't believe I can't think of his name. Son of a gun. Anyway, Donald Logue, if anybody saw the movie Blade, okay, he was the vampire that kept getting his hand cut off.
Oh,
that's Donald Logue. Ellis Spear. Thank you, Shane. Ellis Spear. He played Spear but Donald Logue said he unfortunately couldn't make it. He is he's out west, and he runs a sawmill, and he's very busy. So
that's cool.
He's the most cool, down to earth guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. So we got him. We got who else? Patrick Fauci, Patrick Gorman, Brian Mallon. I talked to James Lancaster. So I'm hoping James wants to come out. But anyway,
I can't wait now. Like when I talk to you in person, we're going to sit down with a few beers, and we're going to literally set this down. And when I get back to Florida, I'm absolutely going to put in those days to come see you.
Yeah. And Zach
Lang and everything now.
Lang's probably in too, by the way. I didn't talk to him. Somebody else is speaking to him, but I think he's in.
How long is your
he's
show?
All about Gettysburg. My show's as long as we want to run. You're the freaking owner of BB3.
I don't. You have 6 minutes, but I say we just keep going.
Yeah, I got nothing going on.
I'm
yeah, I love it. Don't call me Lawrence. Thomas, I've told you about this. Yeah, I love the movie Gettysburg. I just watched it again. But in the movie, in the 20th Maine, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story. How I got involved in Civil War reenacting. We had a substitute teacher come in. His name was Don Aston. Anybody that knows Don or knew Don was blessed to have known the man. He was a scholar. He was a gentleman and a scholar. He was a true student of the war, and he was a mainstream reenactor who cared about uniform standards. He cared about the way your uniform looked, and he cared about how you conducted yourself in the field. He came in, and this is what got me hooked. I didn't even know Civil War reenacting was a thing. The movie Gettysburg had just come out, and he's like, "Oh, I was in the movie. I was in the movie Gettysburg," and I was like, "What? Wait, what?" And we got him talking, and he talked to the entire class. We didn't talk science. We talked Battle of Gettysburg and the movie. And he's like, if you're interested, and because I was asking him all the questions, he said, stop and see me after class. I stopped and see me. He got me hooked up, got me into his unit, and the rest is history. But he was I loved him. He was like a father figure to me. And I was deployed. I was on a deployment, my second deployment overseas. And tragedy struck. He ended up getting diagnosed with stage 4 cancer under his arm. And I was already coming home because my sister had been in a very, very serious vehicle accident, and she had almost died, and she had her arm very badly mangled. It was outside of the truck, got pinned between the telephone pole and the pickup truck. And my brother had a stroke all the same day.
Jesus Christ.
And so I got emergency leave to come home, and I got home the day after Don's funeral. Actually, the day of Don's funeral. I got home the day of Don's funeral. He passed away, and I just missed it, and it breaks my heart. But if you watch the 20th Maine in the movie Gettysburg, he is the sergeant major. You see him running with the sword up there as his guys are moving. So he's got the gray beard, and so he's the sergeant major of the 20th Maine, and you can see him on top of Little Round Top looking through his spyglass when Warren was up there. You see him so many times throughout the movie, but that's what got me started, and I fell in love ever since, and I've just loved it ever since. Oh, did you know Don, Neil? Did you know Don? If you knew, I didn't know you knew him. But yeah, he was. It chokes me up. I truly loved that man. I truly loved him. He was like a father to me. It was an unbelievable experience. First time we experienced ground charges and overhead explosions. Oh, so Lewis, you were in the movie Gettysburg? Don't forget shoes, good socks, and don't forget tick spray. Oh, for the battlefield? Yes.
Oh, we need tick spray? Can you get all that? Can you bring it all? I'm not bringing that shit on a plane.
Oh, dude, it's already in my truck. Dude, I'm prepared for the battlefield, bro.
Cool. So I should bring
boots. Yeah. Gettysburg 160 will be my first event, and I certainly hope my uniform will be correct because, listen, Zach, reach out. You're not far from me. We can get together. We don't live far from each other. If you're in Elizabethtown, we're 30 minutes away from each other, not even. I'd be happy to take a look at your uniform and stuff.
Do I need boots to bring out of the battlefield? Honestly, because I got to order them tomorrow.
I always wear my sneakers, bro. I don't.
All right, I'm good with that then.
So Lewis was definitely in the movie. That's a cool thing. Did you get to meet Sam Elliott and all those guys? I got to meet Ted Turner. I was in the movie Gods and Generals as a background artist. I got to meet a couple. I got to meet Mira Sorvino. Ooh, she was cool.
Zach, you should be on the show one day. One of the shows to talk about the experience on the movie set. I love shit like that. Cinema talk.
Yeah, Zach definitely hit me up. You want to talk cinema? Filming a freaking Civil War movie sucks. 16-hour days sitting on your ass waiting for them to set up a shot that it never happens. But I will tell you,
that's movie making in general. It sucks because people think it's so much fun. It's not. I've been in it my entire life.
Dude, listen to this. Honey, I need more rum and Coke, please. If you don't mind.
It's a good start.
So I met Ted Turner in a pisser.
Really?
I had to piss, and Ted Turner and his pisser was dank. Like we're talking about, like when you walk in there, like you're permeated with the smell of piss. And this was in Hagerstown, Maryland, we were filming. And Ted Turner was in the bathroom. He was taking a whiz. I took a whiz right beside him, and we bumped into each other kind of over at the sinks. And I was like, "I'm sorry, excuse me. I didn't realize who it was at first." I was like, "Holy shit!" Oh, you got a Coke? Fill her up, Gil. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Monica.
Dom says hi.
Hi, Dom.
Dom so wants you. It's ridiculous. Look at it. He's cracking up. So true.
That tick spray, though, that is no joke.
No, you can't go on the battlefield without it. I mean, even with tick spray, you end up getting
Eaten alive.
ticks. Thank you for this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Even with
Give me
tick
more rum
spray?
right there.
Oh my dude, bro.
Oh,
That's
God.
legit. And chiggers are bad in Gettysburg. You know, there's an area of the battlefield. There's an area of the battlefield that chiggers are really, really bad in, and that's the area of the triangle field. And there's the area to the left of the triangle field, dude. You go in there, you're gonna be fucked up. Just
So wait, we're
chiggers.
gonna have like bites and shit all over us?
Dude, you've been in 13. Dom, grow a pair, dude. You'll be fine.
No, I get it. I'm just like, holy shit. I gotta bring like long pants and shit now.
Okay, dude. I so hate you right now, Lewis. Dude, Jeff Daniels. I got a cool Jeff Daniels story. Sam Elliott, past Martin Sheenan, was arm's length away from Hanoi Jane. Yeah, I seen a couple pictures. Bob Marshall posts a lot of pictures of his time when he was there, and he's got great pictures, man. Bob's got some great pictures, and he took a lot of pictures of Hanoi Jane there. But so Don, my good friend Don, told me of a story. Him and Jeff Daniels were on top of Little Round Top filming, and they were actually on Little Round Top for filming this. Jeff Daniels says to Don, he goes, "So this is what you guys do? This is what you reenactors do all the time?" And Don said, "Yeah, pretty much." He goes, "Man, you must walk around with woodies on all the time." That's what Jeff Daniels said to Don. He enjoyed reenacting. Jeff Daniels enjoyed doing that so much, it gave him a woody.
Wow.
That's a story that Don told me. That's one of the big things I always remember. It's kind of funny that you have an IMDb profile. Did you make it up yourself? Come on, tell us the truth. No long pants, too hot, just makes it hard to see them. That's true. That is true. Yep. So, man, I'm super excited. This event's coming together so good. We're getting
What's
the
up
actors.
with the poetry book?
Yeah, dude. I told you I'm super, super busy. You know this.
I'm busy as shit myself. I'm on 72-hour shifts. We got to get shit done.
Well, here's the other thing. I am contracted. I'm on a contract through Savis Beatty. We're writing a book about Civil War photography, and actually, I haven't done shit. I've only written a little bit, and Scott's written most of the book, and he's like been patiently waiting for me to do something. And at this point, with everything I have going on, I'm probably gonna have to back out of this. And,
I knew you were gonna say. I knew you were kindly saying you can't do it. All right, so I'll do the last book by myself.
Quit your whining. I never
Oh,
said I
man.
couldn't do. Poetry's easier than like historical truth.
I want
Because
it to be- I want this to be crazy though, so maybe I'll get you to at least do 3 or 4 of them in there.
He doesn't have time to take a shit, let alone poetry. Thanks, honey. Anything else you want to put out there? Let's talk about my enormous man.
I like
Come on.
Monica. She's really cool.
Stop.
She'll tell the hell it is. Dustin could sing. He could oh lordy or whatever the fucking song was. He wouldn't even do an encore of it. Dustin, we're gonna have a good year, man. This is gonna be good. This damn Gettysburg Bash is gonna be fun. A BB3 exhibit, not just meeting there in person, but like this is our first time as a company having an exhibit booth. We will have t-shirts there. The t-shirts will be given away. However, though, there is a stipulation to get yourself a shirt. You have to show in front of us that you mass shared it out to your friends, and you have to take a picture with your shirt on and post it to the BB3 TV page. That's how you'll get a free shirt.
Easy.
What?
That's what they make Depends for, multitask.
Yeah.
Yes, I will not do that until I absolutely have to, Mr. Warner. But guys, if you look in the comment section, I just posted the link to the show. This is the part of the show.
I would like Shane to jump in if he could. I also would like.
Will you shut up for a minute?
I'm sorry. I'm kind of talking to myself at times.
I know, it's okay. This is the part of the show where I post the link in the comment section. The comment section. If you would like to join us in the show, jump in, click that link, and we'll bring you into the show. What link, Monica? It's in the comments. So Shane, if you see the link, Dom would like to talk to you. Click the link.
No, Rick, actually, that's a good idea. He says, coming up with ideas for the documentary. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if he wants to jump in, we can start talking ideas now. We got a
Hey,
little bit of time. We could shoot
Rick.
the shit a little bit on it.
Rick, why don't you connect with Dominic Santasero? You can find him on my Facebook friends group, or my Facebook page, whatever, and friend request him and give him some of your ideas.
I say we
You
do
met
that. I would love
Morgan
to talk to you.
Freeman? I hate you. I'm so jealous that you met Morgan Freeman. All right. I see you down there, Gretchen. Hang tough.
I am going to take a small break. I'm going to stop my cam, and I'll be back in seconds as you go through your comments.
All right. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Whew, but that just put me right up there. Morgan Freeman from Electric Company. What are you talking about? What electric company? What's that? Is that a movie? Okay, I'm going to post the link again in the comment section right there. It should be on BB3. Monica, are you kidding me? Really? You could stand behind me. Stand behind me. All right. Hey, Gretchen.
Oh, hi.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I wasn't expecting to be on now.
Well, now you're on and now you're live. So it's a PBS program. Okay. All right,
wait, cool. Hang on. Yeah?
Oh, she's wearing the 158th Acts of Valor. Just so people realize that the 158th is when we came up with the Acts of Valor. And we love it so much, we didn't want to change it. We want to use that for this event. So we're using the Acts of Valor for this, and then we'll come up with another one later. Patricia says the link is there. Everybody can see it.
Gretchen.
Oh.
What's happening?
Just finished watching your video from today. I have sent an email to both Gordon Gray and Terry Shelton asking if they are available to meet on site and when. Hoping your info tonight will put some of the naysayers to rest. I hope so too. Excuse me while I go through. My phone is exploding. Oh, for Pete's sake. Really?
What?
No, nothing.
I kind of want to know.
No, tough shit.
Tell me later.
Okay. Thanks for the info. Great to hear you're back on watching. Okay. All right. So anyway, Dustin, do you need to get yourself in onto the addressing Gettysburg podcast? Yeah, I'm actually friends with what's his nuts, and I will probably do that eventually. There he is, my good buddy Shane Pinson.
Shane.
Hey.
How's it going, brother? Welcome to the show, brother.
I'm good.
How are things down there in Georgia? You sweating your biscuits off?
I am. You know, you work in a hot warehouse, you're sweating even more. So
Yeah. Hey, real quick, man, if you don't mind me asking, how's your wife doing? She doing better?
she's good. She's good. She's home. So
Well, she's good. Well, she's been in my prayers, man, so we'll keep her there.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So what do you think about all this 160 stuff, bro?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm really
Good.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to get up there earlier so I can help set up. So
Well, that'd be good. We need all the help we can get. And, it's going to be a pretty big event from what it sounds like. I mean, if we get guys from the Western Alliance in there, I mean, Graham, I don't know if you know Graham Salisbury, he said there's so many people in the Western Alliance. And from what I understand, according to Graham, they are interested. So hopefully they can see some of the videos and contact me and get in touch with me, because I really want I want numbers for this, because I really want to build these regiments out. I really want to put on an authentic, really cool, authentic show. And I want to do Cemetery Hill. Although we don't have a great hill, but there is one, and it's probably enough that we could do it. I want to have horse-drawn artillery. I want to do the whole 9 yards, and the after battle scenario when everyone's just laying on the field still, and we're going to have burial crews come out. They're going to start digging burial trenches. We'll lay bodies in the burial trenches. We're not going to cover them up, though. We're not going to cover them up, though.
yeah, being buried alive would suck. So
Yeah. I would love to meet Brian Mallon. I love watching him in Gettysburg. I've met Brian Mallon, and he is a great guy. And I talk to him regularly. I actually speak to him quite often, and he's just a down to earth, great guy. And he's excited to come. He's excited to come to Gettysburg. So I'm excited to have him. What'd you say?
This has been a pretty damn decent show. I like it because it's been damn like educational, idea driven. I like shit like this.
oh, I will. Yeah, I do too. Just real quick, I'll tell you the story about Morgan Freeman real quick.
Do it.
Where a friend of mine goes, hey, they're filming this movie down in Savannah. You want to go do it? And I'm like, yeah, what's it called? He's like, it's called Glory. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I was like, who's in it? Like, kid from War Games is in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so we went down there, and so we're sitting in camp, and this guy comes over, and we're just sitting around, just talking and, shooting the breeze. And he comes over and he sits down in the camp with us, and he sits there for about 3 hours talking. And I was like, and he seemed really knowledgeable about the Civil War and everything, really nice guy. And gets up, and there's a guy that has since passed on, but his name was Ray Jerome. He was the wrangler for the horses for the movie Gettysburg. And I asked him, I was like, Ray, I never did get that guy's name. What's his name? He's like, Morgan Freeman or something like that. And I was like, never heard of him.
Wow.
Wow. How cool is that, man?
Yeah. So, but now I wish I was like, doggone it, I wish I got his autograph. And so, but
I'm always weird about.
You got to work with him.
How cool is that?
yeah.
You work with him as a background artist. You don't really get too up close and personal with the the primaries, but okay. Did I hit it again? Here. How about this? How about that? Is that good?
Well, that really gives it away, Dustin. As I'm trying to give you a list. I said, I just texted him, quit hitting your mic, man. It's like a reverb.
Well, I'm terribly sorry about hitting my microphone. Now, it is kind of, if I look away, because my daughter keeps coming in here and trying to distract me with my on air sign outside of my studio is on, but it,
Yeah. Quit hitting them weights, man. The goddamn shoulders are getting so big. You look solid, brother. You look good. Shit.
Hey, wait, hold on. Here, let's you want to see? Here we go. I don't know if you can. You can see it's actually just fat that's pushing this out.
Come on.
So
Shane, 13 film projects. That's you, right?
Yeah.
13 films.
Yeah.
Christ. Is that what you wanted to do? Was that your passion, acting and stuff like that? Why 13 projects? How'd you get into it? I'm curious. Sorry, Dustin. I know it's your show. I'm just super curious.
Have at it, brother. I've been talking long enough.
Well, no, it's just, it just happened out that, when I started reenacting in '88, I had friends of mine go, hey, there's this Civil War film. You want to go and do a Civil War film? I'm like, why not? Who doesn't want to do a film? Who doesn't want to be on, immortalized and, on camera for the rest of your life? If you're lucky enough to get on camera, just like, I mean, I know I'm in the movie Glory, and I know that I'm in the fort scene at the end, but I know I hit the cutting room floor. so, but I know I was there. But, it just happened out that, things came along and people will go, hey, you want to go do this? I'm like, yeah, let's go, spend a couple weeks, doing a film or whatever. Some things I would rather not. Of course, my wife says, oh, that was okay. I try to stay away from telling people I was an Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter. So,
what's wrong with that? I mean, I think
you were in that. Were you in that movie?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
What the hell's wrong with that? What'd you do in that movie? I mean, the movie.
That's a cool movie, dude. Yeah. Listen, you know what? I love Abraham Lincoln. He's one of my favorite personalities from the time. I love Abraham Lincoln. A lot of people hate him, but I love him. All right. And I thought Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, this is gonna be the most awful, ridiculous, stupid movie ever. It's so cool. It's actually a very good and entertaining movie. I enjoyed
Fun
it.
movie, bro. What'd you do in this movie?
Just a soldier, just a background extra and everything. That's what I did in everything I've ever done was just be a background body.
All right, what's the greatest thing you've seen on set? And like what was a learning experience for you for cinema, being on sets like this?
Just for me is just kind of watching the assistant directors, kind of go through setting up shots and everything and kind of, going through the whole motions of going through the process of getting things on film. It's just, it's just amazing how much stuff goes into getting a shot, special effects going. It's like, I remember there was, we did a movie, it was a made for TV movie, produced by Amblin Entertainment, of course, Steven Spielberg's production company, called Class 61.
Beautiful.
And there was a scene in the movie where one of the actors, Clive Owen, from King Arthur.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Clive Owen and Josh Lucas were in the movie. And there's a point in the movie towards the end of the movie where they're running across the field and you see these explosions and everything in the background. They're ducking, they're going, avoiding the bombs going off and everything. And I was there that day for it. And it's just like, how it went from being there when they're shooting it to the screen, and how I was just like, man, that's awesome. Just, the whole difference between what you see there on set versus what they actually showed on camera, So
now, coming from cinema myself, I'm listening to the way you speak. You speak in a way that you're on set and you like to study how they make movies.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably right, don't you?
A little bit. Not as much as I used to.
Okay. So have you ever wanted to produce your own film?
I have one that I have had in the can for a few years. I haven't finished writing it, but I have thought about it here lately about pulling it back out and start working on it again.
Well, you get a hold of Dustin, and then maybe BB3 can help you out in the future, brother.
Okay.
Because we will be working the cinemas.
We'll do what we can.
I think one of the first ones we're going to come out with, because movie making, you understand this, cinema takes a long time. I do not believe in short films. I absolutely do not believe in them. I think they're just a shit way of high school, college filmmakers trying to get a bunch of free work from people and trying to get their name in the door while saying there's film festivals that to be won. You do not win at a film festival. It doesn't mean anything. You could actually make your own film festival in your backyard and win and put that on anything you want. So what I want to do here when I start the film in cinema here in BB3 TV is actually build episodes rather than giving a short film. I want to build 6 episodes of the short film to keep it going for like a week in and week out, 2 weeks in. So the first one's called Fur. That will be made Fur. So it'll be
about?
It's not paranormal. It's more of an exploration movie with a really fucked up twist. That's technically could be extraterrestrial, may not be, who knows. Fur, also known as something else. If everyone knows this, here I'll give a little hint away. Does everyone know what furries are?
Yes.
Furries?
I do.
Furries?
Yeah.
Like a kid's toy?
No. No.
Okay. What the hell's a furry?
Go ahead, Shane. Tell them.
Furries are people who dress up almost like, I forget the term for it, but it's like almost human-like animals. Okay. And, go to conventions and everything, and there's some really weird people.
Yes. Now, he's exactly right.
That's why I didn't know about that.
The first episodes of BB3, it's called Fur. It's written. It's done. It just needs to be filmed.
Are you the writer?
Myself and Jason Whitaker, my film buddies. I went back to when I really want to get to work, I get back to basics. I don't think of anything else. I get back to the foundation of where I came from, and I go to the best and the people I trust. It is done. We just
Good
need
too.
we get the film process started.
Outstanding. That's great.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know me. I'll help out any way I can.
Oh, I know that.
Absolutely. Guys, I hate to do this, but we're going to have to wrap up the show for tonight, man. My
do it.
wife actually has to work tomorrow. She's going to need to get to bed here soon. So we're going to wrap it up. Guys, Shane, Gretchen, thank you guys so much for dropping in. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon.
Shane,
And
friend request me, Shane.
hit him up, Shane. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. Dom, as always, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, dude, for keeping me around here on BB3 TV. You know, I love the fam, dude.
Your family, man. You're my brother. You're not going
absolutely. Hey, and I might not always be able to get a show going sometimes here with my schedule, but I promise, I'll always try to do something here sooner than later. But guys, if you haven't done it already, please go over to BB3 TV on Facebook, like and follow us over there. There's quality entertainment. There's variety. There's something for everybody over there. Also, hit me up on Off the Cuff with Dustin Heisey, guys. Like and follow me over there. Guys, I sincerely do appreciate all your support. Thank you so very much. And join me again, hopefully next Friday. Who knows what the hell we're going to talk about, but this is Off the Cuff. You never know where it's going to lead. Guys, thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.